talk about the bad parts, annoying parts, frustrating issues that we've encountered living in an Earthship. So the first thing, if you notice, is that the roads are terrible sometimes. So now we're on a paved road heading to town. This is pretty good, but the first 10 to 15 minutes of driving away from our house and through our neighborhood, if that's what you would call it, can be rather atrocious. We're lucky because we have some really great neighbors that do work on the road seasonally. We've done work on the roads seasonally. We live 45 minutes from the heart of town. It's nice because Gunner's only a half an hour from work, which is a pretty normal commute even if you were to live, in a suburb or even in a city. Still, it can be a harrowing drive if you're in a rush to get anywhere. Although we do have a washing machine, which is an incredible utility to have in an Earthship, we know not to do laundry on gray days. So if it's been several gray days in a row, you might start wearing the same pair of underwear or the same pair of pants.
I don't do that. You wear the same pair of underwear?
I've never worn the same pair of underwear. I thought you did.
No. Maybe in a pinch. Maybe.
It's not as if in a conventional home where it's like, okay, it doesn't matter what it looks like outside. I'm going to use my blender. I'm going to use my washing machine. I'm going to use my hair dryer, etc. But what's cool, at least, about living in an Earthship is that it makes us really conscious about how much we use, whether it's water, whether it's electricity. I like having that awareness and that consideration for everything that I'm doing. Another frustrating thing, at least for me, is that there's dust all the time, all over everything. I'll clean the entire house, I'll dust everything, and then 2 days later it's like, all right, here we go again. Part of that is attributed to these animals that we have here. A lot of what I sweep up is just pet hair, but I think that's just a normal animal thing. That's not really an Earthship problem.
Yeah, and a lot of the time you'll clean a surface and then come back 2 days later and there's a layer of dust on it, and that just has to deal with we live in a desert the ground is sand.
When we lived in Earthships that used rainwater in cisterns, that was a little bit more challenging because our showers were anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes.
Living off a cistern, you really become aware of your shower use, because that, along with doing dishes, takes the most water. Depending on how big the cistern was we were living off of, we go check the water level, and if it was running low, we might not shower for 3-4 days, even if we really wanted to or really stunk. We'd pray for rain. I'm so grateful to be living off of a well, and I'm constantly worried. I know this is probably a very unfounded worry, that the well will run dry and we'll have to go to living off of cistern water again.
And that being said, we do have a cistern that collects rainwater off of our roof, so it's not as if we're just letting it rain and wasting that surface area on our roof. We have a little 1,000-gallon cistern that's buried on our property that we use for irrigation purposes. So.
Our well is driven by a pump, and the pump is 370, 380 feet underground, and it's connected right to our battery bank. So our biggest use of power is turning on the water.
It's true.
And this was shown when we left Charlie home and she jumped in the planter, turned on the water, she flooded the kitchen and killed the battery bank.
Oh, she was in such big trouble. Came home, she had her ears down. And we're like, oh baby, what's wrong? Come outside. You've been inside for a couple of hours. Kitchen's flooded, about 1/4 inch of water. The planters are flooded, which have a jade and an aloe in it, which does not like that water. I mean, it was really fun. It was like a Saturday too, and we were like, we're gonna go home, and we just went out to dinner. We're gonna watch a movie and just eat ice cream, or just relax. And it's like, oh great, no, we're actually gonna mop up our kitchen floor with t-shirts and towels because it was more effective than using a mop.
Luckily, we got it all dried out. The plants survived. I don't think any plant died.
No.
In the flood.
But we didn't water for a week or two.